Once again, enjoy the manic clicking of my camera as it attempts to focus on my face. We're going to be going over the next roughly 2-3 months, what's happening. We're going to start at the beginning, which is what I'm going to be selling, which is granted the whole video. We're going to start at the beginning of what I'm selling. How did I pass English? You know, the other video I called letters word numbers. It's like that one. That sank deep. We're going to look starting at the Tink Packs Punch. Born the 4th of December, one little tort doe. Very fond of this tort doe, probably staying behind. Just because she has the width of her mom and the bone of her dad, and honestly, that's all I really wanted out of any babies out of this girl. Now, of course, Tink is sticking around. I'm not replacing her, because I've only ever had one baby out of her. I gotta experiment more. Toffee, Charles. There are 4 of these babies born the same day, so December 4th, they can go home the 29th of this month. And there are 4, as I just said. We have 3 sable points, 2 of which are buck, 1 doe, and then a tort doe, and all of them but the sable point doe seem to be fuzzies. And I have literally a list of people that want fuzzies from me, and I'm like, I have never been so blessed before in my life. But that tort doe, if she wasn't a fuzzy, she'd be staying in a heartbeat, honestly. Beautiful. Same with the sable point bucks. Specifically, the smuttier one has a better body, like better composition and balance, and the cleaner one is a little less, but he's so much cleaner. I'm like, it's kind of worth it. Pancakes Packs a Punch the 5th of December, so they can go home the 30th. We have 2 bucks. We have a tort and a broken tort. The tort, oh my gosh, she's the next Charles, I'm telling you right now. Beautiful little band. Don't need another tort buck. He's going to be sold, but just for a pretty penny. The broken tort, I think he's a fuzzy, and I already have 3 people that want him. You know who you are. I'm very open about all of this stuff, so yeah, bottle cap Charles, 2 torts, no fuzzies. So happy. We have little tort doe, little tort buck, both of which are showing off the beauty of their parents, if you didn't know. Bottle cap is the only doe I've ever had to take reserve and best in show, and Charles is by far my best buck I've ever produced and placed 2nd solid senior buck at National Convention. They're related, they're half siblings through brawn, so these babies have the mass, but they don't have his long ears, and that's honestly the only issue I ever had with Braun was his ears. And he could have had a better top line, a little bit more fuller over the loin. But he was also a bit just, picky. These guys are born the 6th, so they can go the 31st of this month. And I'll probably be holding back the doe, or maybe both, and just show the little buck and then sell him off. There's a lot of text messages that my phone is getting. Strange. But these 2 are very promising. And then we have babies, like born a few days ago babies. This will more pertain to the future conversation that we're going to have in like under 30 seconds. Born the 6th of this month, we have 3 little torts out of syrup and packs, and 2 little torts out of chocolate truffle and Charles. I wanted to get some dilutes. We're recreating, both of these are done before breedings. We're recreating, with the first one, Hawaiian Punch and Power Punch, because those 2 bucks were beautiful, and I want them in a doe. So if that happens, I will lose my little mind. We have chocolate truffle, Charles. This created that little blue tort, Kelso. I want that again as a doe. Did not get any blue torts, so we're probably going to do a repeat breeding again and sell these 2 off, unless they're just so much nicer. But I'll probably throw one of them in a grow-out cage if I get a doe, and do the repeat breeding again, and if I get the blue tort, then move the one that's in the grow-out cage on. It's math. It's mental math. Herd reduction. Denisa, she's currently getting over a respiratory infection, either pneumonia or something. We sent a culture off, so we will know what it is. If I can't tackle it, I will have to cull her, which breaks my heart, because if you didn't know, she was by far my favorite doe in the barn. Now she's outside of the barn, so she doesn't get anybody sick. But she will be moving on once she gets over it to a pet home. She has been a successful mother, but she just has really rough pregnancies, small pregnancies. She's barely 3 pounds. She's like a little pocket rabbit. She is tiny. I honestly think she was stunted as a baby. Her immune system isn't great, especially for being in a herd with other rabbits. My bird is crawling down the chair, that's fine. Pancakes has 5 babies every time. Love her. Carries Dilute, probably carries Rue. Gave me my best buck, Charles. But if she outproduces herself, she's moving on. Same with Dewdrop, which Dewdrop is for sure moving on just because she's already outproduced herself. But she is currently pregnant, bred to Charles, which is her nephew. So I'm hoping to get those Orson ears because she's a false dwarf. She's a Siamese sable that carries Dilute and most likely carries Rue, judging by her ruby eye glaze. She is 6 babies almost every single time. She's never missed. She's never missed a breeding. She's never had a miscarriage. She's never had an all dead on arrival litter. She's always an amazing mom. I have fostered so many babies on her. She cares for everything. She is not a brat at all. She is huge, but it shows, and she's a sweetheart. She lets me trim her nails. She's just like an amazing mom. So she's going for at least 350. Just out of the sheer, you will be successful with her breedings. Syrup, if she outproduces herself, she's moving on. She's a Pancakes baby, so they're kind of in the same boat as if they outproduce, they're moving on, but I really, really like them. Toffee, not a big fan of her. Probably the prettiest doe in the barn next to Bottle Cap, but she's a prick when she was, actually, I think she grew out of it. She was a prick when she was pregnant. This time, she's a sweetheart. But I have trust issues, so she might be moving on. She carries Shaded, she carries Dilute. Her brothers have all won a bunch of stuff, but she didn't get shown because she was bred as soon as she was a senior. She has 1 leg, her only show really. She got Best Opposite Variety, Best Opposite Breed. She got her leg from that. Never had a chance to show her after that, honestly. Pretty sad about that. That's okay though. But yeah, if she outproduces herself, she will be moving on. She also I prefer to foster her babies off. She wants to kill her babies. Never again. Because I have taken her babies since, and they have always been fostered either by Pancakes or Dewdrop. Chocolate Truffle number 1. If she outproduces herself, that sucker is moving on. She has had rough pregnancies. She has miscarried. She has had stuck kits, or not stuck, but dead on arrival. Rough pregnancies, the poor thing. She's so pretty. She has a leg. Her first junior show or second junior show she got a leg. I really, really love her, but she's just rough in her pregnancies. She's proven she's an amazing mom. She's a sweetheart. She's a bit of a nervous mom for the first few days, but she grows out of it. Usually within 3 or 4 days, she's like, oh, right, you're the one that feeds me. You can touch my babies. She's produced some of the prettiest babies I've ever made. So she might be sticking around, but again, if she produces one of those pretty babies, and it's a blue tort and it's a doe, that sucker is staying with me and she's moving on. Bucks. Frost. I love him, but that man, I don't need another broken buck. The only reason he's here is because he's a sable point. If he wasn't a sable point, I would have sold his sucker butt later, as soon as I would have gotten the Grand Champion papers. Which, yes, he is granted. He carries Dilute. He is a sable point. He probably carries Rue is my guess, but he doesn't have a glaze. He's never taken Best of Breed, and he didn't place at convention. That is the only reason I would sell him. And he also wants to breed way more than I have the capacity to breed him. Then we go to the grow-outs. Hot Biscuit is probably staying. Bindi is probably staying. She just hit her 2 pounds, so we'll see what the judges think. If they say absolute garbage, I'll probably grow out to prove them wrong. But Honeybee, I love her, but she is a sass machine. And I don't like sassy does. I like blobs. And her mom's also sassy, and I kept her mom. I think she's probably a little bit better than her mom. Her mom is the only doe that I've had take Best of Breed as a junior. So we'll see how she does. But if I get something, because if you didn't know, her brother was Steamboat, sold Steamboat. He was probably the nicest baby I made year-round. If I get that as a doe, because I redid the same breeding, she'll be moving on in a heartbeat. So yeah, that's what we're looking at. Price range, 200 to 400. Probably never, ever going to charge 400. I always put a lid that's way higher, just so that your expectations are never hurt. Because if I say, oh, 1 to 150 and then I price one at 175, you guys are going to get offended. But if I say 1 to 2 and I never price above 200, you're all going to be very happy with me. Or even if I never reach 200. So that's kind of my system. But that's what we're looking at. It's going to be interesting. I think around March is when I want all of this to really fold into place. So yeah, With that, I will see you guys in the next video. My bird is chewing me profusely, and he's just going to sit on my office chair coming with. But yeah, that's what we're looking at. I hope you guys don't mind the interesting camera life. Come here, you. And Gonzo will wish you all out. Will it focus on your beautiful face? It will not. I'm so sorry, Gonzo. I'll see you guys in the next video. God bless.